Hello and welcome to Activate the Kitchen. I'm Ollie Jones, or Mr. Jones to some of you who know me, and today, before we start anything, you need to go and wash your hands for 20 seconds. When you've done that, come back and I'll explain what we're making. Today we're making banana and porridge oat bites. Now, a lot of you have run out of flour, so if you've got porridge oats, brilliant. Now, if you look at your bananas, you might notice some of them have brown spots in them. They are perfect. The ones that are overripe are absolutely excellent for making these, because as they ripen, they create more sugars, they become sweeter and have less starch in them. So if you have bananas to use up, this is a good recipe for you. Other ingredients you might want to have as well are some dark chocolate chips. I've got 30 grams of those. If you want to, you could have a small amount of honey, and that's about it really. I will show you some variations as we get going, but let's get going. So if you have all your utensils and things out here, first of all, 2 bananas, I'm going to open them up and I'm going to mash them up in a bowl. So to do that, I will use a back of a fork, and I'll start just to push them together like that until they start to mash up. And if they're really ripe, they'll mash up pretty well, so just keep mashing there. This recipe is quite a healthy recipe. Sometimes when I'm training for my marathons or my ultra marathons, I need to have handy snacks, and I don't really want to eat lots of biscuits or chocolates, so I need to think creatively for things that I can turn to and give me some energy. And this sort of recipe will give you sustained energy, so it will keep you going a little bit longer, release the energy. So as you can see, bananas are getting all nicely mashed up. Give a good mix. And from there, I'm going to get my porridge oats. And I enjoy porridge. I have overnight oats for breakfast most days of the week. And I'm going to use 1.5 cupfuls and put that into a bowl. 1.5 cupfuls. So there's 1.5. Doesn't matter if you're not exact, I'm not measuring it exactly into grams. So there's my 1.5 cupfuls of porridge oats in there. I'm going to add my mashed up 2 bananas, and I'm going to give that a really good stir. I want it to all blend in. It might seem a little bit dry at first. Just keep mixing in there. And start to get coated up there as well. Now what you can do, if you have the time, is to pause the video and let the bananas sit in with the oats for about 20 minutes. And that will just basically absorb the moisture from the bananas and make it a little bit softer when you cook them up. While you're doing this as well, you can put your oven on to 175 degrees. That's a fan assisted oven. So giving a good coating there. I can see all the oats are mixed in there. That's brilliant. I'm also going to add some extra moisture there, a drizzle of honey. Not a huge amount, maybe about 1 tablespoon of honey. So I'm going to add that to my bananas. Little squeeze and mix that in. Stir it all around. Fantastic. Now, I've also added, or going to add, 30 grams of dark chocolate chips. These are optional, you don't have to add them at all. I'm just going to add them for a little bit extra sweetness as well, added flavour. So I'm going to whack those in there, stir them all in. And I've got my baking tray ready, and I've also put some baking paper on top just to stop them sticking. You don't need to grease the baking paper at all. So there we go, got my baking sheet, baking paper on top here, and what I'll do, this is the part which I quite like, you're going to get your hands in there, so that's why it's important to wash your hands to start with. So start by getting a small amount It's quite sticky. So a small ball, full amount of oats there, about that amount, and then you can flatten it down and you can place that onto your baking tray as so there. And I keep repeating that. Now, because this is not made from flour, it's not going to expand, so you don't have to space them out too much, they're not going to spread out. If you want to and you've got any spare chocolate chips, you can add a couple to the outsides of them. So it's a nice job here. This will make around about 6 to 12, maybe about 8 to 12 altogether, depending on how big you want them. There we go, flatten down there. Now you might wonder why being in the kitchen and baking is part of PE. Well, as you know, PE is all about health and fitness, and to be fit you also have to look after your body in regards to what you put into it, like nutrition and making sure you drink enough and eat the right sort of foods, because if you don't have the right sort of foods, when you come to do sport or PE, you might not have the right energy levels to keep going. If it's a marathon, you might feel like giving up, or you might feel a bit dizzy. So having the right sort of foods in your body just gives you that extra energy boost when you need it. There you go, looks like I'm going to be making around about 8 here. You could make them small if you want to. Now these are perfect, they can be frozen as well, so you can have them in the freezer and have them when you want to. I'm going to separate a couple of mine to make an extra one. There we go. So keep forming them into the little patty shapes almost, little sort of cookie shapes as well. There we go, just show you that there. So I've made 2, 4, 6, 8, I've made 9 altogether, and I'm going to pop that in the oven. Remember, 175 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to leave them there for 12 minutes. So I pop them in the oven, set for 12 minutes. If you want to make it a little bit longer, that's fine as well. Get my hands to wash here. So while this is in the oven, I'll explain some of the other varieties that you could perhaps have. Some people like to have cinnamon and raisin. That's a nice good option, a nice healthy option as well. And also if you fancy, if you've got any dried fruits, you could use apricots and prunes as well as your 2 bananas, and that will add another nice texture as well. So after 12 minutes, use your oven gloves or get a parent to take out the baking sheets and let them cool down for 5-10 minutes and then enjoy. I'd love to know the feedback on how they tasted. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Ollie Jones, or Mr. Jones. Activate the kitchen. Bye bye.